This is the Samsung M7, which is a monitor but has the same functions as a smart TV. So let's get to the things you need to know about this monitor. Starting off with the display, because of course this is a video. Now going to the display, you are going to be getting a 32-inch 4K UHD display, which is also 60 Hz. Now, as you can probably see from, depending on what device you're watching from, the video is so crisp. Now you can also see there are a bit of light on the screen because it does have a bit of a coating, like a non-glare coat. But I mean, it still looks good, and depending where you sit depends on if you're going to have that glare, which can kind of get annoyed by. But where I sit, it doesn't really interfere with me at all. Now on the back of the screen, you'll find two HDMI ports, one USB Type-C port, which can actually output at 65 watts, which means you can, yes, of course, use this as a charging port for your laptop or device. You'll also find three USB Type-A ports where you can actually connect a Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, or whatever you're wanting to connect. Now, of course, there's one thing that sets this monitor away from other monitors, which is the smart TV capabilities. Now, this can all be controlled with, of course, their own remote, which I'll get into more soon. But to show you guys how quickly and how easy this is to use, you can actually, for example, just speak and get it to go to wherever you want to do. So by pressing or holding down the mic button, you can actually just tell it to go to something else. So I can just say, go to Netflix. And just like that, it'll just take you straight to Netflix. Or, of course, you can just push the quick buttons here, like for Disney Plus, which will take you straight to Disney Plus and makes it so much simpler. Now going to the types of apps you can expect to get on this device is insane. Because of course you have the pre-installed stuff like Netflix, YouTube, the internet, Prime Video, and Disney Plus, but you have more range with DSTV, Showmax, Apple TV, which is installed already. You can even have Apple Music, of course, if you are going to have this somewhere where a lot of visitors will see, and even Spotify if you aren't someone that's using Apple Music. And the list goes on for, of course, different countries, different channels will be available. And something that is quite cool about this device is that you can actually play games on the M7, which is quite interesting. One of the nice things about the M7 is that you can actually AirPlay your device, which is actually very unique. And Samsung didn't have to do this, but they did. And it does in fact have AirPlay too. So I can just go on my iPad, select the device, and then just like that, I can easily AirPlay my iPad or phone. And of course, if you have a Samsung, you can do the same thing with DeX. Okay, now going to the test of the speakers on the M7, I'm going to play some non-copyright music from Stream Beats, which I do recommend you guys to go check out because they have amazing music that you can use for YouTube and so much more. But this is going to be an audio test with their speakers. So this is currently on 20%, which already sounds insane. Now going higher by obviously going up on the control, you can go higher or even lower, and it's just getting louder and louder. Now I'm going to put it a bit lower just so I can actually be heard, maybe to 10%, but it's actually very simple to control. So up and down is changing the volume, but when you push down, it mutes the speakers and the audio, which is actually very convenient because then you don't have to try to find another button to mute the display. So let's just unmute it for now. And of course, if you have a TV satellite dish connected to the monitor, because you can do that, then you can easily just flip through the channels with the buttons on this side, which I don't have any channels on right now because I don't really use anything like that. I just use Netflix and Disney. So going to something else that you might want to know about the M7 is that if you do have a Samsung device or Samsung phone, for example, you can just tap it on the side and it will share your display on the screen, which is actually quite useful, especially if you're wanting to do a quick little share. Obviously this is not going to work with Apple devices, but it will work with Samsung devices. And for me, I don't use Samsung devices besides the monitor, so I can't really test out the tap feature. Now, something else that the Samsung M7 has is remote work, where you can actually have your Windows device connected to this, even though your device might be at work and the monitor is at home. And like I said, you do have the functionality of connecting Bluetooth mouse and keyboard to it, so you can actually just work. And also something that is very nice about the M7 is that it does have Microsoft 365. Now, I don't have the subscription or the application, so I can't really display that, but it is insane that you can actually do this. And there are so many more functions with this monitor that is unique. So let's get to the pros and cons of the M7. So starting off the pros with the M7 is that, of course, it has a good display. I mean, the fact that it's 4K and you're paying not too much for this monitor is actually insane. And I mean, it is better than getting a bigger display that you might not use or can actually damage your eyes. Another pro to that is actually has eye saver and so many more functions, including a game function, which actually is useful if you're going to be using this display for gaming. And you can actually turn it into 75 Hz, but you'll have to get rid of the 4K. One of the main cons of the M7 is that there are some issues with the audio side, where it's either firmware that has to be updated or just something that is not connected properly in the display itself. But since I've fixed that issue, because I did have the issue, it is actually working way better now, and hopefully it stays like that. Now, going to the pricing of the Samsung M7, you're going to be paying about $299 for this monitor on Amazon. I'm going to provide a link in the description if you want to go get the exact model that I have, and the link in the description is also a affiliate link, so if you do use that link, we'll support the channel. But that's the pricing of this monitor. So that's everything you need to know about the Samsung M7. I'll definitely say this is a good monitor to go for, especially if you're wanting to do a whole bunch of things at once, but don't want to have too many screens on your setup or in your room, because you can actually do work in your bed if you want to. Otherwise, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the Samsung M7? Do you think it's something that you would recommend to someone else? But I'll definitely say, from my personal review, it's a good monitor and good display. But hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, helps out the channel a lot. Hoping to hit maybe 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, or even soon. And if you enjoyed this type of content, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to do more videos like this. Otherwise, see you guys next one. Be safe, as always. I'll see you guys in the next video.